we live now? Yep. Okay, cool. We're on. G'day, guys. Let's have a look at some of the destruction that was my day, which sucked balls. I blew up another account for eval accounts. So, I was taking risks. They're not trades that I would have done on a cash account because it was mostly going short. And then when it was going long, I got faked out, and it just not fun. Now, looking at this chart, which is the half-hour chart, it actually looks really, really nice to take that downside run. That was there. I didn't, because I was in after this candle around here, and I got faked out to the upside there because that was my stop. So I lost on that. And then on the way down, I don't know what happened there. Or maybe I didn't. I forgot. But I got screwed. I screwed up hard. Same thing if you're doing cash. Don't short these at the moment. As much as I'm fucking really tempted to call the top in for these markets. Jesus, it's got to be close. We're about 100 points over where I thought we'd be. Maybe it goes another 100. I don't know. But this has been held up by 2-3 companies. There's only a couple of companies doing okay on paper. And then the stupid thing is, Apple's price is going up, not because they're improving their products or services, or it's because they got a shit ton of cash. And what they're doing with that cash is buying their own stock, which is pushing the price up. And that action in itself is holding this up. It's just, it's a Ponzi scheme. But it's one you need to be aware of, and you got to watch, and you got to play it. If you don't play it when everyone else is playing it, you will get wiped. That's just the reality of it. So, yeah, look, those accounts cost me. The other one, I've got $200 left on my stop loss or some shit, which on one that gives you a $6,500 trailing stop loss, it's not enough to really do anything. I don't think I'll be able to make that back. So I'd say that account's probably blown tomorrow, which means I've got 3 left to go. And I think what I'm going to do is, with those 3, because I really wanted them done by tomorrow, because if I get them approved by tomorrow, to pay for the lifetime of the account is really cheap. But what I'm going to do if that doesn't happen is I'm just going to wait for beautiful setups. So on the Qs and the SPYs, I'll probably only play the Qs to the upside. SPY I'm a little bit tentative on, because the IWM has way more effect on the SPY. Let's just zoom out to the weekly. So this has got 2,000 companies in it, right? From the market. And if you have a look at this, there is a gorgeous head and shoulders forming, and I've got that neckline in there. This is on the weekly chart as well. The rejection here of these levels, look at these last few weeks. So this is what I was watching when I entered short. I started entering my shorts. It was this wedge. I think I entered on somewhere here, 199. That was a bad entry. This was the one. This candle was the one to enter on. That break of trend, or this candle. I got a spread in here, but you can just see this level. Look, 4 weeks in a row, 208 there, and then we're going down to about 207, 207, 207. It's just tagged it, pushed down, tagged it, pushed down, tagged it. And if this finishes red for the week, my goodness gracious, we're getting really close to busting that. And I've got a couple of puts that are going to be really nice if that happens. But I just took them way longer than I normally would, because my timing's been atrocious. So I just thought, look, cool, let the thesis play out. My clear stop loss was 208, so if it closed over 208 for the week, then I was out of those. But very clear, good, solid lines on high time frame, high probability of success. I took the spread this week to basically cover my shit trades with the futures, which it is currently. I mean, it probably has. It's probably covered everything that I've put into that, which is good because I've done. Oh, jeez. No, it wouldn't have. I've probably done about 1,500 US into testing those accounts over, what am I at now? 2-3 months. Like I said, I've got 3 of those left. I haven't got one payout yet from that, which is just, it's gutting, to be honest. It's very upsetting. It's not what. You don't do this to get smashed. But yeah, it just hasn't felt really nice. Anyway, that's one to be aware of on the downside, and this not pushing up. If I was going to be way more bullish on it, this over 212 and hitting for new all-time highs. But you can just see these all-time highs from, what's this, COVID, 21. Where was lockdowns? Lockdowns must have been before here somewhere. What the fuck happened? Holy shit. Right. This gets exciting. This is pre-lockdowns. 170. Boom. Down to 95. Boom. 232. Back to that 166. And I would just be, man, I don't know how low this is going to go. I just think there's a big move down in not a long period of time. How long? It'll be interesting to look at this. How long did this drop take? 1, 2, 3 weeks. 4 weeks. 4 weeks to go from 168. If you had put options in here, you'd be so happy. But even here, like when you see this mad drop and shit's hitting the fan, you've got time. That's the thing with this. If you miss the first $20 of the move, you can still get in and you can catch the back like 30, 40%. Just gotta wait for that to trigger. And it hasn't triggered. I'm not going really heavy. But I tell you what, if we get under this point here, you can start looking at loading up. If this breaks 194, this is going to be really nice. You probably expect that 180, which would be really nice correction. And there is absolutely no way that you don't get a nice pullback in the SPY if that happens. But you can, like, it's just so vertical, man. It's just so vertical. I don't know how to play this fucking thing. I really don't. Anyway, so let's go to a 30-minute chart and have a look at what we will be doing tomorrow for our pathing. What are the levels? Why are they the levels? What's the A+ setup, which is pretty much the only one I can really wait for now. Right, so we've got this low. You've still got that gap below that I want to see filled. But it looks like it's sort of shelving there, so it might not fill that gap. Like you just might not get those 3 points. It does do this sometimes. I mean, you look here, you got this mad climb. Boom, breaks that level, breaks it, holds it. Boom, comes back down. Not quite to the level, but pretty close. Closer than what this has done. This has gone from 32, like 10 points. This wasn't a 10-point move, was it? 24. Oh, it was 10-point move. Oh shit, didn't actually come back that much. So yeah, it leaves a bit of space in the middle. I don't know. Maybe it's going to do that, but this was a gap. So you still really want that filled. If that comes back to 537, that is where I would do a bullish spread. So on the options for probably $500, wouldn't go super crazy. 2 weeks out, likelihood of winning that trade is very, very high. I'd do that on both the SPY and the Qs. Another thing to be wary of, June and July are normally quite bullish for markets in general. So the chances of a top happening here, even though I'm like, man, this looks so toppy. Like the other thing, I'm wrong most of the time. So listening to what I'm saying, probably not the greatest idea when I'm thinking, oh, top's in. But I say that to myself, right? I understand that I'm wrong most of the time, which is why I keep betting long, because I think the thing should crash and burn. But it doesn't. It keeps going. So I can keep betting up. Like, it just is what it is. But yeah, today sort of fucked around this daily level. You got a downside on the half hour, but it fucked me out. I'll show you on the 5 why I got fucked out. You can see here, like this is looking like a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bear flag formation in here. So this down, I was asleep, so I missed this. I wouldn't have gone in on it anyways. I probably would have gone in where I did. This week here is good. These rejections through here are nice. I think I was in for a bit there. I might have got stopped out here. I don't know. I lost a couple of trades in there. Yeah, I was short. No, I was still in, stopped out, went long off this candle because I'm like, oh, okay, cool, sweet, we're above this line. That was a really big resistance. Let's go. Boom, fuck you. Stopped out again, and I don't think I played another one, or I might have played somewhere in here. Yeah, 46 for the downside. And I was looking for continuation to this level, didn't get it. So I got fucked out of that one as well. So a couple losses there. And all those trades, I mean, even looking at it now, I'm like, it's very hard to argue with the thought process behind it because, like, the setups that I went for were there. They were there. So I think the problem is trading after this time period. Because I seem to keep losing. So I don't know. I might need to cut my time to an hour and a half and just be like, cool, I'm out. Then I went and played blackjack and I won, and I did really well. Doing it's a fucking strategy. Basic strategy, I think it is. It's called for blackjack. So getting a lot better at that, and then I'm just training myself to count cards better. It's probability based, but the idea is probabilities, right? So you got 2 trades I'd take tomorrow. I can delete that people up. 2 trades off here, 476.50. Stop loss with a probably 5-minute close under. And then you're sort of just looking for new all-time highs. Yep. So you want a continuation, or comes back down somewhere in here, forms a very clear rejection low. Ideally, you get a full gap close. If it comes, the day it comes back to 468, same with the SPY, I'm doing spreads, I'm going long. I'm like, fuck yes, we got the close. Let's keep going. 2 weeks out, I'll do the spreads. I'll take them at 80% when they're up 80%, which, given how this is moving, will probably happen pretty quickly. Then, yeah, let it run, and off you go. So yeah, that's the plan. SPYs, Qs. If IWM keeps going down, it's going to make it harder for the SPY, which is just one to be aware of. There you go. if it bounces back to these levels, I'm probably going to put another spread on. I'll just do the same thing 2 weeks out, but I'll go bigger size because I'm even more confident that this is going to continue on its way down. So if we get another run up here, I'll probably put a $2,000 spread on for 2 weeks, and I'd take that at probably 70% profit and just keep playing because it's, I don't know, man, it's fucking working. So we'll go with that. I'm about 60% profit on that options spread that I did on IWM as well, up at the 206, 207 level. So, yeah, I'm glad that that's sort of covered the futures fuck ups. But I had options puts on IWM that I lost last week. That was about $1,000. I'm doing all right on the options. Petrobras is really interesting to me. I don't know why it's tanking, but it's dropping right out of bed. And for a long-term buy, this is getting close to attractive. This is getting close to very attractive because the dividends, let's just have a look so you guys can see it. I've been enjoying it. Why are they selling it? Fucking 1 year price, 30%. Bonkers. It's not going to die. Like Brazil relies on this 20% dividend. It's mental. And they pay out really consistently. So I'm a big fan of this company, long-term oil, energy sector. Yeah, crucial to the biggest economy in South America. Government's intertwined with us. It's safe as fucking houses. It means if you bought it now, after a year, you would be even if it dropped to $11. And let's see how long ago it was $11. Incidentally, I wouldn't buy it now. It's not at the level I want, and it's also broken this channel, which is a bit of trouble. So I wouldn't be buying that, but this was a really, really long weekly channel that I had on it. So for that to have broken is a big thing. Big thing for sure. And you've also got, if you look there, you got a bit of a head and shoulders in there, and it's just breaking that. You've probably got, you might see it back down here. If it can get through some of these key lines, this would be a key area. This $13 area will be quite key. But if it can get through that 13, you'll have a real shot at seeing it at probably this 1070 level. If it goes under $10, I'm probably going to buy $100,000 because I think the upside's enormous, and mainly for the dividend. So I would just be buying that. Okay, cool. Put $100,000 in. That's $20,000 a year for dividend, and just not look at it. Just leave it there. If I wanted to sell call options on it, I would for cash flow. But yeah, look, there is definitely some potential downside with that. And if oil tanks, very, very appealing. The other one that I'm looking at long, and this would be another one I'd put $100,000 in, is Vodafone. And I'll show, I believe I have shown this before. So these lines are like 1996 lows. So $8. I've got puts in for $8 for January. Only for $10,000. But because I've burnt most of that account, I have to transfer money in from other areas to buy. But I definitely would, 100%. Again, the dividend on this is really nice. 10% on a company that, in my opinion, just has. I mean, you just look at what these telecommunication companies are doing. Look at how big it is. Is Apple more valuable now than what it was in 1995? I think so. Not Apple, sorry, Vodafone. So that's the simple question I ask. You look at its inflows, look at its cash, look at its debt, look at even just the fucking value of the brand. Plus, it's paying dividend. It's profitable. It's hated at the moment, which is great. Gives you cool opportunity. If this can come back down to this line, I will be selling the shit out of $7 puts. So I'll probably, I don't know how many I'd be able to sell, but I would try and max my account out on $7 puts on that, because I just think that's just fucking gold mine. I mean, even look at 2020. Let's just go have a look at what happened in COVID. Where are we? So pre-COVID, it's at $20. At the bottom of COVID, it was $11.40. This is the end of the world. And it's lower than that now. So, yeah. That and Petrobras are two of my bigger watches. I also like that they're in different countries. They're in very different sectors. But they would be two of the best values that I'm seeing wander around at the moment. For sure. So that's what I'm watching long term. I'm still playing. Let's have a look at the VIX. I'm still doing these puts on the VIX. At the moment, I would have to execute that. 11.95. I mean, honestly, this is at the point where you start selling more, because you can probably get $11.50 price, maybe 11 right now. And it doesn't stay under 12 for long at all. Ever. So, selling puts makes a lot of sense. I'm actually going to write that down. Sell more VIX puts. Sell more VIX puts. And if you take into account that June, July usually are positive market months, sell them for August. Just pick the price that makes sense. Sell the puts for August. August, September, October. Pick those 3 months. Find the price that works. Sell them. Cash flow. Even if it's $500 that you make off those three lots of options. Execute them when they're up 80% if you want to be safe. If you don't and you think they're going to keep going, then hang on to the buggers. If it goes under 12 and you have to buy them, be happy, because they're fucking cheap. And in a week's time, look at this shit. This is just today. It was at $12.60. Oh, so if you had puts today, right? Say they expired today for $12, right? You bought them, and say we get a repeat pattern of what happened today, tomorrow. You've got them. You've been paid to buy them, so you pocket that little bit of money, and then tomorrow you get a little bit of a downtrend in the market, jumps up to $12.50, $12.60, let's say. You've just made 5%. Like that. Sell them. Sell them. Sell them. Then sell more puts and do it again. Rinse, repeat, man. Very, very easy little bits of money. So I would do that if I didn't have so many puts going, but I'm playing the puts because that is what I have been most successful at. I've got I think there's been 2 or 3 times I put myself in a bad situation with them, and it really wasn't even that bad. I ended up losing maybe $300 or something. It just wasn't a big issue. I usually make that back on 2 of these sales, and I've done, I don't know, probably hundreds of these now, and my success rate would be above 95%. So it's selling insurance, right? And if you understand the people that sell insurance, they usually do pretty fucking well for themselves. The other thing with this shit that just makes me laugh, like Russia's just parking nuclear submarines in Cuba at the moment. Shit ain't de-escalating. It's like, it's getting worse. On a lot of different fronts. So another one that I'm pretty happy I'm in, and you can get in for the same level that I was when I entered these a while back. I've taken October options on this. Let's go have a look and you'll get an idea as to why. For me, this is a very, very nice bear flag. It's a little bit over, it went a bit high. You wouldn't have wanted it above this line to really be considered a bear flag. But because when they're doing bear flags, you don't want them to retrace more than 50%. I believe if we let's pull out the fib retracement tool. I think it's this one. Nope, this one. Okay, so if you go from this high to this low, you can see that where it is in here was about your 61, your 50s in there. So that's right at that line. So you got a little bit of a peak over, fucked around for about a month over, but then it came back under. It's a decent looking bear flag. There is a very, very good argument that this is just a super cool looking bear flag, which, if it is, you're getting very, very close to a breakdown. And I've been playing smaller bear flags within this bigger bear flag. So this one here was a bear flag for me. Boom, breakdown. This was an ascending wedge. Boom, breakdown. And we're just right at that fucking tip. We are right at that tip with this really key resistance. If this gets under here, say bye-bye to the banks. And I've got October puts. You can get them for the exact same price that I'm in now, for $48.47, because they're 47 one's negative. The 48 one is about even. And I got some 51 ones when it went back up here. They're positive, but I didn't get many. I just wanted enough to be like, okay, cool, get them out. Because when you get them further out, they're more expensive, obviously. But if we get, like, these are going to make a very, very nice little chunk for me. If we can get back down, my target for this is probably down to this low range. Like, I'd probably sell them at 36. I'd be tempted at this 37. But if we get under this, you should get a really nice push into that. You might get a check back, so there might be another opportunity to enter after. But yeah, these are some of my longer things that I'm looking at, and I'm doing well on the long ones. I'm not doing well on the short ones. All my natural gas puts are in the money very nicely. I'm really happy I went hard with them. So it was I love this. This is so sexy. So I've got my wedge. So this to me was a falling wedge. I was like, okay, cool. You've got these epic all-time lows. It was like fucking $12. This bitch ain't ever going to get under $12. So down here, I was selling $12 puts. I think it did at some point. A long time ago where it was, maybe not. I don't know. But I got to sell $12 and $11 puts, right, for this. And I was doing it down here when we were under here. I knew if it broke this, it was just going to go up pretty nicely. You got a bit of a double top there, so you might get a check back down. If it got back down, like, this was probably a good opportunity to sell some more, but for me, not as solid. It is, I mean, really, it's a very clean break, retest, boom. It really is. Very, very nice. You could probably play it again if it came back to that 17 area. It's not going to be as certain. This could easily be a double top and push back down. But yes, those puts have done really well for me. And that's basically how I'm planning on building the cash back into my account that I've burnt through horrible options trading results anyway. And then, yeah, that's me. That's all I'm really talking about today. I'm not looking at them. I'm keeping an eye on them, but they're not ones that I'm super aggressively targeting. This fucker didn't break down. I had that wedge. See, it just didn't happen. It happened a little bit. I was in there. I was short on the options item from 120, and I didn't sell because I was hoping for this. I wanted that close. I think I only bought one, which is why I held it. And as you can see, this is just break, retest, see ya. So that was actually quite clean. This break over here was really, really nice. I highly doubt that I'm going to end in the money with that. And I think my exit is a weekly close over 130, which we're probably going to get this week. So I will exit those next week. Yeah, this rush up here is not what I thought was going to happen. So I will be out of this. I was expecting more of a pullback like this. And I thought if we get here, boom, you've potentially got a double top because you had an engulfer. And then you had this one that looked like it was sort of consolidating within this range. And I was like, okay, cool, this is all right. Bit of sideways. Now we get a down run. And it said, fuck you. And just went to the upside, which happens, right? It's just fucking is what it is. But yeah, keep playing the patterns and eventually you get there. The problem with betting against these is I'm betting against the Qs. Qs aren't going down. Just doesn't happen. So betting against these is probably insane and just not really worth it. Even if they're bubbly as fuck. The markets will remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. So I'll leave it there. We've got a couple little plans to work for tomorrow. Not a lot that we're sort of looking at. And one of the things I'd probably say, and this is something that I've got the last couple of days, if you're still watching this, is don't be at the screen for long. But then how do you learn? How do you get the hours? And this was my thing. I was like, I need to watch. I need to understand how this moves. You have to play probabilities. And when you're trading options, there's a couple of things that you need to make money. You need volume and you need volatility. Very, very important when you're trading stocks. If it's just sort of sitting there doing nothing, yeah, there are strategies that can work for that. But they're different to how I'm trading. It's not how I would like to trade, although it's how I'm doing my puts. That's more of that sort of longer chilling strategy. So what I would say is dedicate 2 hours to your prep, maybe an hour to prep before your trades. Have your plans and give them 90 minutes to play out. If they don't play out, even with paper accounts, which is what I'm just going to have to do now because it's just not working. It's just not working. Taking these setups that aren't super A+ setups. Just limit yourself to 90 minutes in the first 90 minutes of the day because that tends to be where you get the best results in these markets, particularly for futures. Do that until you get, say you trade for 90 days. Get 70 of those days green. And your days that are red, make them really small. And if you can do that, then probably put a little bit more money in. But I mean, if I'm just looking at my history, I'm probably green more days than I'm red, I think. Maybe not, if I include the options. Futures trading, definitely green more often than red. But my red days are bad. I'm always trading longer. Emotionally, I'm tired when I go in to do it, so I'm not thinking clearly. It also makes it easier to let emotion take control, and so my rules and that get disregarded. And it's just fucking bleeding me out. It's not because I've changed to these funded accounts. It's not drastic, but it ain't good. Like it's just not good. So I don't know, man. It's annoying because you got to make money, right? And if you don't have much to do with the rest of it, like if you're working, honestly, I'd fucking way rather be working a job and doing this, or having a business and doing it while I've got a business. It would just fucking makes so much more sense. Go and learn a new skill. What I'm doing is I'm learning basic strategy and counting cards. If you want to go all in and really hard on the training, then ideally you learn a skill that is going to improve that. Go do courses, do all that sort of shit, and invest the money, invest the time into doing that, so that you're not like, oh, I have to sit at the computer and make trades. If you can learn that from my fuck ups, you're going to save yourself a lot of money. Yeah, just very annoyed. Get it. I think you'll get faked out less as well. Like one of my big things is getting faked out of my trades. Managing the volume a little bit better, like the size of my trades. Like I was doing 240 contracts for some of these fucking accounts. It's just way too much. I mean, 30 is a lot. Probably doing lots of 9 makes more sense. Just wait for better setups. Small size. I was doing that big size and just taking short scalps, which these fucking weeks, these FOMC weeks, man, they kill me every fucking time. It's frustrating, man. Frustrating. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed that this isn't clicking. I know I'm getting better. I know my understanding's better. I know I'm looking at these things and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This level's happening. This is going on. But it just ain't quite clicking for me, bro. So yeah, I don't know. That would be my thing to anyone sort of looking at doing is just fucking slow it down. It goes so much slower than what I have. And limit your time each day and then take the rest of the day and go and do other things. Like I even wrote that down the other day. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm not trading. I'm going to read. I'm going to train, which I do daily. Eat, cook, do business plans for things that I want to build here. Live stream like this. Long-term stock research. Funnily enough, what I've done here. Blackjack, which is one that I'm doing now. And I like that because it's probabilities. So it's teaching me a skill that is going, hopefully, to train me to think a lot more logically, clearly, but also a skill that can make me money. And wherever I go, because, well, not everywhere, but there's casinos in a lot of places. And because I'm in Paraguay, it's so fucking cheap. to do it at live tables, my downside is really, really limited. Whereas if I was doing it trying to learn live tables in a country like America or Australia, or probably US, you could get cheap ones. But Australia, like my minimum bet might be $20. And that's like, fuck, I'm just going to go through thousands. It'd be like trading when I was doing options. Shit, I need 100 grand bankroll to learn this game. But yes, specific probabilities where you can turn it in your favor and come out pretty bloody profitable in that game. And learning basic strategy, which I'm definitely getting my head around now. I'm not 100% on it, but I'm getting there. And then learning how to count cards, which I'm improving at daily. And then going and doing it. Go to the casino. I've got a casino really, really close to me. It's got electronic machines, which are no good for counting cards, but they're great for playing basic strategy. And then I'm just trying to think how the algorithm of those machines work. It's probably going to be set up to be like, 49-51 or something to the machine. And it shuffles after every hand, so you can't count cards. But if you're playing basic strategy, then even if with basic strategy you're at 49-51, you're going to be hard pressed to lose sort of 4 or 5 hands in a row. It's just going to be rare playing that strategy. So you can change how you bet to leave yourself ahead. And I sort of did that today. I don't know if that's going to keep working, but it worked today. And it was enjoyable. It was just using this strategy that I learned, and then I come back and I practice counting cards here, and I'll go to the casino on probably Friday night, Saturday night, practice counting cards there. Play a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit, just to see if I can actually implement it during the game, and then you see them count as they're going. Ideally, you're at a table with less players, and that helps. But yeah, it's a bit of fun, man. I'm really excited to actually learn that and go back to Australia and trade with it. So I'm just fucking rambling. I'm tired. I'm gonna have a little bit of lie down because I got footy training in a little bit. I'm gonna go do that. But yeah, just be careful. Don't short this fucking market. Look at this fucking candle. Boom, boom. This is fucking ridiculous. It's just going more parabolic every fucking time. Do not short this fucking thing. Ridiculous. Insane. Anyway, I'm out. See if we can have a green day tomorrow. Fuck. Maybe a really good trade. It would be really nice to get an A+ set up and actually be able to get some accounts approved. So yeah.